And welcome back, everybody, to the University of Miami. Joe Zagacki alongside Don Bailey Jr., former University of Miami captain and center here at the University of Miami. Who was your quarterback again?
I think it was Jim Kelly and Mark Ray.
Oh, okay. I want to make sure you got that, got him in there now.
Oh, Vinny Testaverde was here too.
Okay. All right. Welcome back. It is National Signing Day. Delighted that you are with us. And joining us now, University of Miami offensive coordinator Thomas Brown. So a lot of things to talk about with Coach Brown. We've got running backs, we've got quarterbacks, we've got wide receivers. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing pretty good. It's normally somewhat of a stressful day, but I think these are going well so far. Got a couple guys in the boat, some guys at mid-year, so really excited about it.
All right, let's talk about some of those guys that are going to start rowing the boat for you. And let's go to the quarterback position first, all right, because Brad Kai obviously has left, so quarterback's going to be a big emphasis in the offseason and in spring football. And N'Kosi Perry has just sent his letter of intent in. He's signed up and ready to go. What do you like about N'Kosi Perry?
Very excited about N'Kosi. Spent a lot of time with him. Obviously, John kind of went on the road and spent most of the visits with him, but very explosive player. Does a lot of things with the ball in his hands and very intelligent football player as well. But see the mobility, being able to move around the pocket and make all the throws on the field you need him to make to be a great player. And I'm really excited about his future.
Coach, when you're evaluating the quarterback spot, now everybody says they got to run. You got to have a guy that can run. We had a pretty good year with that guy that didn't run so well.
There's no question.
But you throw in that aspect of it. How do you want it to be? You want the arm to be 2/3 and the leg to be 1/3, or how do you look at it that way?
No, you want the total package. And obviously, I think N'Kosi is a guy that has a total package. I think being able to be mobile and extend some plays, but also be able to have some quarterback run game helps your offense out so much. But also having a guy who can, process the defense and make all the throws on the field is obviously going to be beneficial for our offense, what we do here.
Leadership is always a big key, obviously, with quarterback, and all indications are N'Kosi is a very good leader.
Absolutely. I mean, there's more that goes into playing quarterback than just being able to make the throw, just being the right guy and having the keys to the ship and being able to take off. And I think he's got great leadership skills, and we'll kind of see once he gets here.
All right, got another quarterback in here as we transition from N'Kosi Perry, who has a familiar last name for Coach Rick.
He does.
And his last name is Welden. So Kade Welden is already in school and on campus. What do you like about Kade Welden?
Well, I think it's a huge help to have a guy like Kade on campus already, going through spring practice. It's going to be a big competition in the springtime just without those guys on campus, and just be able to be a somewhat mobile guy, be able to get outside the pocket. Is probably one of the most athletic guys we have at the quarterback spot on campus right now. But, again, another very smart football player. Great pedigree from a background standpoint with a father who's a really good quarterback in his days, and really excited about him as well.
Coach, when I looked at him on tape and I followed his career, he seemed underrated to me. He really did, especially when you have a player, a quarterback specifically. It's like he's a coach's son or a player's son, and his dad was successful, so you're not going to have terminology issues.
No question.
And the good thing that I see about Kade Welden is that if his dad is his mentor, Mark Rick mentored his dad, so it's not like he's going to go get another answer.
He's in pretty good shape. I think what you said, just being able to evaluate your guys on tape, and I think people get caught up at sometimes when it comes to stars and who's been offered by certain guys and what their rankings are, but we trust our evaluation, trust the guys we go after, and when they get on campus, we'll see how good they are.
I think that's going to be interesting when they get here because they're going to face a pretty good front seven.
Oh,
they'll give you some answers in a hurry.
That was great for us last year, even going through spring ball and fall camp. That was the best defense we faced all year. We got a chance to see those guys day in and day out in practice.
All right, let's jump to running back. Mark Walton comes back as kind of the centerpiece of the backfield in the offense, but you add Robert Burns.
A huge addition to our running back group. Obviously, we had a couple guys that departed somewhat unexpectedly at the end of the year, but it's a great opportunity for a guy like himself to be able to come in as a freshman and compete. And again, being able to come in the springtime. It's kind of a wide open competition battle behind Mark. Really like Travis Homer a lot. Very productive player from last year, and obviously Trayon Gray's coming off of ACL injury. But Robert Burns is a every down type tailback. I mean, he's built the right way. He's probably 215 pounds now, which is about 7% body fat. So he's going to have every opportunity to prove what he can do and see if he can get on the field.
They had him ranked as the number 7 back in the nation, and you've been around and been on the field and been in the locker room and coached the best backs in the nation. And so you know what to look for. If you had to pick out one trait of Robert Burns that was most interesting to you, what was it?
I think it's just mentality. I think it's the way he goes about his preparation and the type of kid he is. He's very intelligent, look in your eyes and kind of process what you're saying to him and picks up on things easily. But just the way he goes about his business, working his butt off every single day. And he's obviously a downhill runner, which I think is something we'll need from a backfield standpoint to be able to break multiple tackles, but you can see has enough speed to take it the distance.
When you're looking at running backs in general, when I've watched you out at practice, one thing that these guys better do is they better be able to block.
There's no question.
I mean, they're not getting on the bus or they're not getting on the plane unless that's a part of it. And also, they need to be able to hold up as far as pass protection as well, not just the run blocking aspect, but also catch the football.
Yeah, we just talked about two quarterbacks, Kade and Nkosi, and those are very talented quarterbacks. We're really excited about their future here in Miami. But if you can't keep those guys upright, we'll find somebody else who can. And you want to be able to get the ball in your hands, you better be able to block as well when it comes to run blocking, but also pass protection. But being a three-down tailback, I try our best not to recruit just situational guys, but guys that can function in the whole spectrum of offense, in between the tackles, out in space, running routes, catching the ball, but also affecting the game as special teams as well.
I think while we have Coach Brown with us, I think we had some more breaking news. I think we just got another letter of intent in. Defensive lineman Jonathan Ford has sent in a letter of intent. So you're smiling about
Extremely
that.
excited. He's a huge football player, and obviously I think he comes from a great family, and I'm really excited to have him part of his family.
And
it's going to be tough going against him every day in practice.
Yeah, I'll tell you what's going to make it tough on you in practice also is you got a couple of guys that signed up at cornerback in Bandy and Dean. And Javonte Dean signed up early this morning. Junior college player, gives you not only some length, but also some age.
Absolutely. Very experienced guy that can come in and help a room that's been somewhat depleted, but very talented football player. I think I like what I see from him on tape, but also as a person as well. And Trajan, man, is like the ambassador. I love that kid, loves his city, loves his program, and he's going to be a great player for us, I believe.
Coach DJ Dallas is sent in his name, and who's going to get him, offense or defense? There's a lot of lobbying going on for him.
DJ's obviously came in mid-year, which we're excited about that as well, but I think he's a very versatile player. I think he's going to start with us on offense, and we're going to do our best to try to keep him there, but wherever we can help the team on the field is where he's going to play.
Saw that last year. Michigan had their player played offense, defense, special teams, and a guy like DJ Dallas, coach, I imagine also if he's out there as a wide receiver, since he played quarterback in high school as well, that gives you a few more options in terms of trickery and those things.
Absolutely. Being able to play quarterback in high school shows that you can trust him, and they trust him with the ball in his hands and make decisions. He can make some throws for us. And obviously be able to line up at different spots, be wildcat quarterback or running back or receiver, and also help us on special teams as well. So very excited about DJ.
Now, Coach,
and being a lawyer guy too as well, which goes a long way. Goes a long way.
Coach, I can't let you leave the room without talking about the offensive line. Now, you've got two guys that came in early.
Absolutely.
You've got Dykstra and Donaldson. Let's start with Donaldson. Is higher rated player as there is in the country, certainly Dade County, Miami Central, big body, and it's nice to have those guys that cast a shadow when they walk out on the field.
He is a massive human being, and I was very excited to have him here, and I kind of saw him in the springtime and throughout the year, and he's very athletic to be able to be that big and move the way that he does, and very physical, and really excited to have him on campus. And it was a tough recruiting battle.
Oh yeah,
highly touted guy, but he's going to be great for us and be a great addition for us, and myself and Coach Searles have kind of spent a lot of time with him and ready to get him going.
Well, he's a guy that, when you see somebody of that size, you really got to start thinking about conditioning. You got to start thinking about nutrition and somewhat reconfiguring that 350 pounds of high school weight and convert it to college.
Big Gus does a great job with us in the weight room, and has already got those guys going and kind of coming in for some extra work. And he's working his butt off, kind of bought into what we're kind of asking him to do, and expect him to come in and help us immediately at some spot, either as a guard or as a tackle.
Coach, you spent time at Wisconsin, so you're used to big bodies like that.
Well, they're big men, but they don't move like Devon can. At Wisconsin, they're all 6'6", 6'7", 300+ pounds, but they can't dance like he can dance.
And you've got Zach Dykstra, who came in. You had to go to Iowa, and that proves that the U is a national brand.
There's no question. I think we can go coast to coast to get guys to come in and help us. And I also want to start at home in Dade, Broad, and Palm Beach, and the rest of Florida, and get those guys to stay here, and hopefully get some good news here in a little bit from some more linemen to jump in the boat and be a part of us officially. But Zach is obviously a very strong player, more of an interior type guy, has really good tape, and comes from kind of a land where most big men are kind of raised and bred in the Midwest.
That's what I think is important. Is I think some of recruiting really is you can recruit to what your area can give you.
Right.
And you do have Donaldson, who is an offensive lineman, but traditionally South Florida is not great for offensive line. I mean, there's Donaldson and there's Don Bailey.
Correct.
And that's what we've been able to produce over the years. But you went to a place where Iowa or Michigan or Wisconsin would be going to get an offensive lineman.
Well, like you said, I think it just goes to kind of show what we can do from a nationwide brand and be able to sell the University of Miami in all aspects, but also just from the need standpoint, to have guys be able to come in and help us right now.
And at tight end, coach, you've got Brian Polindi who came in. I've watched
Absolutely.
some tape on him. I don't think he's gotten enough recognition. This
I
guy
agree with you as
catches
well.
the football.
No
I mean,
question.
he was in a run offense. It looked like coming out of high school. Didn't
Correct.
have a whole lot of catches. But when he did catch it, he was open and he turned around and, I mean, found the goal line. And I was very, very impressed with him and how he played the game and has more speed, at least on tape.
No question.
Than I would have recognized.
Another mid-year guy that came in for us, and we kind of have, two spots for tight ends. A Y was kind of more flexed out, was what David did for us last year, and an F. And I think, Brian is kind of more of an F-type guy, but can be versatile and kind of flex out and do some different stuff for us from a receiving standpoint. But to be an all-around type tight end, to be able to block at the point of attack, to be flexed out, and also catch some passes as well is going to be a huge benefit for us.
Important also to have a guy that is not only a capable blocker, but a willing blocker.
No question. Absolutely. I think, you can coach some certain guys up to have better fundamentals, but the attitude, to have the mentality, you got to recruit guys that can come in and want to be good at it.
Coach, you go around the nation. I mean, you look at, obviously the commitment is to Dade, Broward, Palm Beach County, and then, the state of Miami from Orlando south and
Correct.
Florida, and we understand that. But
Absolutely.
you've gone and cherry-picked players from Texas. You've picked them from even, and I say Jacksonville. I mean, Jacksonville,
Absolutely.
it was unheard of for many, many years for Miami to get many players from that part of the country, and the staff deserves a pat on the back for making that effort.
Well, I think we try to do a good job as a whole staff of coming together and making sure we're unselfish when it comes to recruiting our areas and getting the best guys to be able to come and be a part of this program. But like I just said, starting at home is going to be number one priority, but being able to identify guys across this country who can help us, like Brian can.
All right, very good. Get some new pieces for that offense.
Absolutely.
Now you'll be able to go back to the chalkboard.
Got a few more coming.
All right, very good.
That makes us all better coaches. We
Yeah.
have better players.
All right, Coach, thank you so much.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
All right, that's University of Miami Offensive Coordinator Thomas Brown. It is National Signing Day here on campus at the University of Miami, and we will continue. We'll have more information for you, more signings, all coming up right here on our National Signing Day show on ACC Network Extra.